Welcome to the Wise Guy channel, where we cover all things political in Canada and the US. Please like and subscribe, this really helps us out. Let's get into today's video. Proroguing the Canadian Parliament. What is it, and will Trudeau do it? Today we dive into a complex yet crucial political process, proroguing the Canadian Parliament. It's a term you may have heard in the news, but what does it really mean? And more importantly, will Prime Minister Justin Trudeau use it to his advantage? Buckle up as we unpack what prorogation, its historical roots, and what it could mean for Canada right now. First, let's look at the prorogation. Prorogation in simple terms is when the sitting government hits the pause button on Parliament. It's a power granted to the Prime Minister by the Government General, effectively halting all legislative business. Think of it as a temporary shutting down of Parliament's work until the next session begins. This break doesn't dissolve Parliament entirely, that will require an election, but it does wipe the legislative slate clean. All bills still under debate are stopped in their tracks and have to be reintroduced in the next session if the government chooses to do so. Now let's look at the historical context. Proroguing Parliament is new. It's been used by many prime ministers over the years, but it's often controversial. In 2002, Prime Minister Jean Chrétien prorogued Parliament amidst rising tensions with his own Liberal Party. He used it as a political reset button, hoping to regain control of his leadership. Stephen Harper took it to the next level in 2008. Facing a potential vote of no confidence, Harper prorogued Parliament to dodge the opposition's attempt to topple his government. It worked, at least in the short term. He did it again in 2010, citing the reason to recalibrate, but many accused him of stalling investigations into Afghan detainees. Over the years, prorogation has become a political weapon, a way for governments to avoid scrutiny, cool off heated debates, or hit the reset button when things get too hot. So why would Trudeau prorogue Parliament? Now the million-dollar question, will Justin Trudeau prorogue Parliament? Trudeau has used this tactic in 2020 amid the fallout from the We charity scandal. His government was under intense pressure, and proroguing helped defuse the situation, at least temporarily. Fast forward to 2024, Trudeau is facing a minority government, criticisms over various policy moves, and growing unrest from the opposition and from within. The longer he stays in power, the harder it is to get his agenda through Parliament. So proroguing could buy him time to regroup, rebuild, and prepare for the next session with a stronger plan. But is it that simple? Proroguing could also be a double-edged sword. While it might silence opposition in the short term, it could also spark outrage from Canadians who see it as a move to avoid accountability. Let's review the pros and cons of prorogation. Let's break down the pros and cons. The pros. First, prorogation gives the government breathing room. It can provide time to rethink strategy, reorganize priorities, and present a fresh throne speech outlining new direction. Secondly, it can be a way to avoid a no-confidence vote, saving the government from collapse. The cons. There's always a cost. Prorogation can be seen as undemocratic, shutting down debate and preventing the opposition from doing its jobs. It also halts important legislative work. Laws that Canadians might need could be delayed or scrapped altogether. Finally, it could erode trust in the government. I don't know how much more they could lose, but people may see it as a political escape hatch, not a legitimate move to reset priorities. Here's the million-dollar question. Will Trudeau do it? So will Justin Trudeau pull the trigger on proroguing Parliament in 2024? It's a high-stakes gamble. Trudeau is navigating a minority government facing pressure from opposition and dealing with restless public. If things spiral out of control politically, prorogation could be his way of buying time to gain a footing. But there's a risk. If he uses prorogation as a political maneuver, it could backfire, fueling accusation that he's dodging responsibility or silencing democratic debate. Ultimately, prorogation is a powerful tool, but it's also a delicate one. For Trudeau, it's not just a question of can he do it, but rather should he. I guess time will tell. So there you have it, the ins and outs of proroguing the Canadian Parliament. It's a complex issue with a lot at stake for both the government and the Canadian people. Whether or not Trudeau takes this path, one thing is clear. Prorogation is more than just a pause, it's a political strategy with real consequences. Stay tuned, Canada, and keep watching as the story unfolds. Don't forget to like and comment and subscribe for more in-depth analysis on Canadian politics. Thank you.